like for you to help us welcome a very distinguished speaker. He hails from the DPG. Would you please stand and welcome the one, the only OG.
What's up, my people? Hope y'all enjoying yourselves this evening and being safe. I don't know if y'all was paying attention in my last video, but I got a little sick on the way to Cali. And I told y'all I had a little testimony, you know. And I'm not really finna do no major preaching or nothing. You know, I'm still a big time work under construction, you know, as far as getting close to God. You know, I'm on a long road with that. But I just want to tell y'all, you know, I was a little sick on the way to Cali. And, you know, a lot of y'all that know me, y'all know I did some wild stuff, you know, in the drinking days and stuff like that. You know, stuff where it was way out of hand. So I had stopped drinking for a long time, you know, and then probably about 2 years ago maybe, or 2.5, something like that, I noticed I was able to drink again, but I was able to drink in moderation. I wouldn't drink and get in no car. You know, I wouldn't black out nowhere. I wouldn't do nothing crazy, you know, mess up at work. You know, I wouldn't do stuff like that no more. So as far as, you know, major episodes that jeopardized my life or my freedom, you know, I was able to drink like what you would say a normal person, you know, would be able to drink. But the whole time I kept noticing, you know, like something was wrong, man. Like something just didn't feel right, you know. And sometimes I even have trouble listening to some of my music. You know, I'd be like, dang, you know, I still listen to worldly music, you know. I'm a big fan of, you know, West Coast music, gangster rap, different stuff like that. But, you know, every once in a while I just notice I just don't feel quite right, you know what I'm saying? So even though I was sick on the way, you know, I said, it wasn't bad yet though, you know, it was okay, it wasn't real bad. I said, you know, this California, I gotta take me a little something to sip. I don't smoke no more, so I took me a little something. Nothing heavy, no liquor, nothing like that. But I took me a little something, and my wife wasn't vibing with me, for one. And, you know, I'm trying to sip and enjoy myself, because the whole thing just wasn't, you know, of course she was driving, I wasn't. But the whole thing just didn't feel right. So I think by the time we was entering California, and this was just a simple little can of brew I had, you know, this wasn't no liquor, nothing major. But just about the time we was entering, and I ain't never felt this from no flu or any kind of sickness, but I started sweating like you would pour water down on top of somebody's head with a bottle. I was sweating like that. And I felt like I was on the verge of passing out or dying, you know. And I know I done told some of y'all crazy stories like this before, but I'm one of those people that, you know, God got to scare. You know, he got to make me feel like I'm almost finna die for me to stop doing something. So, make a long story short, I ain't gonna tell y'all what's right or wrong, you know, because I'm still learning, I'm still growing. You know, I always felt like, hey, Noah drank and Noah was a great man, so it shouldn't be no big deal. But if God touched you, you get that little feeling inside, you know, which is most likely the Holy Spirit, and you feel something ain't quite right when you take that sip, or you feel like something ain't quite right when you hit that bud, or when you go to coughing and choking. Something just don't seem right like it used to be. Y'all need to open up your eyes and pay attention to that, you know. So that was just my testimony, you know. So I'm pretty much, you know, I ask that y'all pray my strength in the Lord, because I know something like that only happened to me because he was telling me basically I ain't pleased with what you're doing. So now I gotta scare you out of it. And I ain't did nothing major, you know, I ain't had no major issues from it, you know, but he just ain't feeling it, you know, so I had to cut it out. But anyway, this is my poem about California. Y'all check this out real quick. Excuse me if I mess up a little bit, my throat is still real sore, mouth watery because I can't hardly swallow, but y'all check me out. Cali, so glad I was in your presence. Your beauty was like receiving presents. So glad you received me with acceptance. I've been dreaming of you since my adolescence. I felt your love and essence. Your light was radiant with fluorescence. Your secrets were visible with transparency. I seen parts of you only previously seen in movies. No wonder you got so many groupies. I seen your paralyzed soldiers as a result of handguns and Uzis. I seen your essays with Chuck Taylors and tattoos, involved in a war where everybody lose. I seen the faces of those on TV and news. I seen the segregation and unity in crews. I seen the faces of street soldiers who paid their dues. Tattoos and wheelchairs leave clues for the lives they choose. I pray to God I never have to wear their shoes. I seen graffiti painted on walls like art by people who were obviously crafty and smart, with a bond that can't be separated or broken apart. To live here, this place gotta be in your heart. Gang presence so big it's mapped out on a chart. A reminder that Cali ain't all sweet, some of it is tart. But on the brighter side, the beauty was amazing. Sunshine and cars that low ride. Houses built into the hillside. Palm trees like skyscrapers, some tall, some wide. Like Pac said, black love, brown pride. This is California. Come experience the West Side. And that's actually everything I described in there. You know, that's a little bit of what I seen, you know, some of the places we had to go to. I seen these soldiers, man. I seen these dudes, you know, in these wheelchairs. You know, I remember seeing a dude look like he was from a Crip set, had been gunned, you know, been gunned down to the point where I could tell he was in there because he was paralyzed, you know, from the waist down. You know, I seen a Mexican like that with two of his people with him. They got Chuck Taylors on, you know, tattooed up. You know, I didn't see no lowriders there, but I seen them here in AZ. You know, and we all know that California is the motherland of lowriders. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't need to see them there to know that they there. You know, I already seen them here in AZ, and we right next door. But yeah, everything I described in this poem I seen. But y'all remember my testimony. Share this poem if you feeling me, and pay attention to what God put in your heart. Y'all stay blessed. All right.
One more day.